Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Noratika binti Armi and my group members Nur Partin Isati binti Hamzah and Nuriliana binti Badrul Hisham. Title of our mini project is a study on online class versus traditional class among PMM students in 2022.
In our table of content, there are 6 parts, which are introduction, the objective of the study, methodology and instrument, which consists of platform and quantitative, finding and analysis, which consists of data statistic, discussion of the overall study, and the last one is conclusion that we got from doing this study among PMM students. Introduction for online classes versus traditional classes. We choose this topic because we want to know the preference among PMM students for online classes versus traditional classes. The COVID-19 pandemic has had dramatic effect on the socio-economic and well-being of nations. The nationwide study on the effect of the pandemic on Malaysian institution students was conducted at the end of 2020. There are many important issues uncovered in this study, ranging from the technical side, such as internet-ready program, and socio-economic side to the psychology perspective. Although statistics show that 90% of nation households have access to the internet, while 49% of students reported that their internet connection were poor. The impact of the COVID-19 pandemic makes change to learning method. Most of the respondents are from the Department of Trade (JP), followed by other departments such as JKA, JPH, and JKE.
Next is objective of the study. Firstly, we target to know about the feedback between online class and traditional class among PMM students. With that objective, we will know which learning method that students prefer. Secondly, we target to determine the impact on both learning method. As we know, our learning method changed drastically when facing COVID-19. But however, after the world faced an era of endemic, learning method changed balance between online and face-to-face learning.
Hi, my name is Nuriliana. So, number 3, methodology and instrument. So, we only have 2, platform and questionnaire. So, what about questionnaire? Don't worry, it's very easy. Method. So, we are using Google Form. As you can see, this is our link. So, you can try. Do not be so stressed and enjoy it. And thank you for your good feedback. So, as you can see, this is our survey and get 80 responses. Wow! So, we are so happy because students Polytechnic Merlimau Melaka really sporting to give feedback.
Section A, it is about respondent information, such gender and department. And for your information, we got 80 respondents among PMM students for this survey. This pie chart showing percentage distribution of gender in survey respondent, which is 17% of the respondents were male and 83% of the respondents were female. Among the survey respondents, majority is female. Next, this pie chart shows result of department differences among respondents. The highest percentage is 43.8, which is JPH department, following by 34%, which is JP, and 12, which is JKE department, and the lowest one is 10%, which is JKA department. And we can see clearly that JPH department is the highest and the lowest is JKA department.
Section B, the feedback among PMM students on online class versus traditional class. The pie chart above shows the percent of the survey where the preference is between online classes and traditional classes. among PMM students in 2022. From the pie chart, it has been mentioned that there are three answers for students to choose, which are traditional classes, online classes, or both. The pie chart shows the highest percent is traditional classes, where PMM students prefer to use traditional learning method, which is 42.5%. Then the lowest percent in this pie chart is the online class, which is 60.3%. In my view, the statistic of this pie chart is that PMM students are more interested in using traditional class learning method than online classes because traditional class learning methods are better used in student learning. The bar chart above shows the percentage of attention span in class among PMM students in 2022. The chart above shows the attention span as a student in class, such as making a discussion in a group after learning, when a lecturer asks a question to students, and listen to what the lecturer explained. Next, as we can see, the highest percentage of attention span in class is listening to what the lecturer explained. The statistics show the percentage of people listening to what the lecturer explains is 77.5%. Besides, the lowest percentage are 36.3% when the lecturer asks a question to students. In conclusion, according to the finding of this bar chart, students dislike it when a lecturer asks them a question because they are hesitant to respond. The pie chart shows the percentage of the difference between online classes and traditional classes among PMM students in 2022. The chart above shows the degree of differences between online classes and traditional classes toward PMM students, such as a lot, is all same, and don't know. Furthermore, the highest percentage of the degree of differences between online classes and traditional classes is a lot. The statistic shows the percentage of a lot is 92%. Then the degree is all the same and don't know if it has equal percentage of 4%. In summary, based on the finding of this study, PMM students stated that there are many differences between online classes and traditional classes learning method. The pie chart shows the percentage of the factor in students not focusing during online classes among PMM students in 2022. The chart above shows the factor in students not focusing during online classes, such as internet network problem, the lecturer voice not being clear, not understanding what was taught, or other work, and not being interested in some topic. Other than that, as we know, the higher percentage of the factor in students not focusing during online classes is the internet network problem, with a percentage of 53%, and has three equal percentage, which is 1% which present all other work and not interest in some topic. The problem faced by PMM students during online classes is that their internet network is difficult to access in a certain place for them to do online classes. Based on the pie chart, the result of the survey among PMM students in 2022 about the reason students prefer traditional classes over online classes, the pie chart above shows the reason students prefer traditional classes over online classes, such as having more focus, being able to meet classmates, being able to easily ask questions, and being able to finish work easily. As we can see, the higher percentage, which is 50%, represent more focus. Then the lowest percentage, which is 11%, represent being able to finish work easily. In my opinion, it is easy for PMM students to focus when using traditional class learning method.
This is a challenge during the online class. As you guys can see, the blue colors get the higher percentage, which is 68.8%. This is a challenge during the traditional class. The orange color get the higher percentage, which is 45%. So students can get more A's. This is a decision whether or not it is easier for students to understand what the lecturer is teaching when studying online. So as you guys can see, the orange color get the higher percentage, which is 43.8%. That means students more to 50-50, which is like understand or not understand. So that's all from me. Now I will pass to next presenter.
Next is section C, is about the impact of online classes and traditional classes. This chart shows result of the impact of online class and traditional class that agree by respondent. Firstly, students more confident in public, which is 55% agree with this statement for traditional class. Then online class, which is just only 21% agree with the statement. Second, easy to focus. We can see obviously traditional class is more highest than online class, which is 70% agree with traditional class, while for online class just 17% agree. Third is not receive clear instruction, which is 23 agree for traditional class, while for online class 40 agree with it. And lastly is comfortable environment while study, which is 60% agree with traditional class, while 44% agree with online class. Overall, we can say that traditional class give more positive impact than online class to students. Discussion. It is about overall review for this study. We could know the preference among students between online class and traditional class. And we hope that we should be able to investigate the preference of learning methods among PMM students year over the year. So we will know which one is relevant for students. We also hope that a suitable learning method are provided to students so that they can perform well in their study. Lastly, for conclusion, first, we know the preference between online class and traditional class among students. Second, we also know about the impact of both learning methods. And what we can conclude for both learning method, it is have their own advantage and disadvantage. We as a student must be responsible for ourselves. So I will close this presentation with quote by Alexander the Great. There is nothing impossible to him who will try. So that's all from us. Thank you.